Welcome back to Undisclosed, Voices of Black Girls. I'm Leah.
And I'm Brooklyn.
Today, we're going to talk about hood mentality. What that is, like, what it's about, and how it plays its role in the Black community, I guess. Okay, let's define what it is first. Architects.net, it's not actual architecture, but they said they defined hood or ghetto mentality as someone having, like, it's a person's mindset about life which is informed by poverty and fear. Although people may physically have moved out of, like, the ghetto or the hood, they are still psychologically stuck in that mindset. That's what they said it is.
Is that, do you think, why it's hard for people to desist from crime?
What, because they're stuck in the mindset? Like, even when they're out of it?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe, yeah.
Because I found that Black offenders had the highest rates of reoffending in 2016 and 17 at 33.3%. And they said that the young Black men experience disadvantage across indicators of economic and social well-being, including education, employment, housing, and living standards, and in health settings, in particular mental health. And it was also argued that alongside an assessment of risk, there is a need to explore offenders' values, goals, and strengths. So after somebody has come out of that criminality and criminal behaviour, not only do they have to have a risk assessment of them reoffending, but they also have to look at the person's, like, the individual's values, goals, and strengths.
Wait, they have to do it before they come out, like, of prison?
No, they're saying that that's what's lacking.
Oh, yeah.
They don't really do that. So if somebody doesn't really have any values or goals, they're more inclined to go back to reoffending.
But I don't know. I feel like that kind of speaks a lot more for, that study speaks a lot more for people that stick within that, like, they haven't made it out the hood yet, kind of thing. Because if you like go jail for stealing or whatever, you go back and you're still poor. It's not like anything has changed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you just go again. Whereas, I don't know, logically, if you go out, like, and you start getting your life together and, like, you kind of move away from all those bad influences and all of that kind of environment, I just assume you'd flourish, I guess.
Mm-hmm. But there's people that do want to, they say all the time, oh yeah, like, I don't want to go back to jail. I'd want, like, but they don't really have a plan. They don't know how they're going to get out of there. They just know that they want to do it. So I think that's also that difficult and plays a part.
Yeah, especially, like, you know, if you live in, like, the hood or something, you have limited options. Number one, because, like, I don't know. I don't know. I would say lack of resources, number one.
Yeah.
So if you want to go and get a job, obviously you're going to need the education, the experience, blah, blah, blah. But it's hard to get when you're back in the hood.
Yeah. Glynn in 2013 and 14, research explored Black men's understandings and experiences of the racialization of crime and criminal justice systems and its impacts on the desistance process. His research found that many Black men re-entering the community from prison face obstacles to desisting from further offending based on racialized barriers encountered in the criminal justice system and post-release. And he writes that the men he spoke to in his research faced a series of systematic structural failures that restricted how they could actualize their desistance journey.
That makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Realistically, like, obviously, the criminal justice system, it needs a reset button because the amount of, like, Black men that are just incarcerated on stupid things that they could have got a warning or like a tiny, like, a fine for, like, and they don't need to be in jail for how long for it.
Even, like, you know, the rapper Digga D. How many times is this guy going to be taken back to prison? I swear every month he's just taken back. Why? Like,
for real? What does he do?
Who knows? So he's an artist now, you know, he wants to make music, probably wants to get famous. How is he going to be able to do that if every minute he's being dragged back to prison?
I don't know. even like when getting a job, I saw something on Twitter the other day, and it was basically saying that bachelor degrees what like didn't go down in what's the word like how good they are. So like how good they are to have them.
Okay.
Does that make sense? There's a word for it, but I can't think of it. Oh well. Basically, they're saying that bachelor degrees didn't go down in how good they like value until black people started getting them.
Oh.
So I imagine like black people start going to university. I get my degree. We get our degree. We come out now, and obviously we have white names. So there we go. We get to the interview process.
Who has a white name?
Brooklyn.
Damn you.
And Miss Leah Smith.
Yeah, Leah Smith over here.
Girl, your name is very easily pronounceable. Okay? Not like my mother and dear cat. Like, we're chilling. Anyways, we make it to the interview process, and then they come and see you. I've got my hair in a puff. They're not liking that, so I'm not getting in. You've got your hair, it's nice back, but you're still against like 3 other white people, and their dad is friends with this guy that's interviewing you now. Just because they've been knowing each other, they get the job, kind of thing. But you've done the exact same bachelor degree of them. You have you've got experience or have got a better quality degree or whatever.
Yeah,
you still won't get the job, and it is like this in the real world. You know what I mean? It's the small things. It's the small things.
In particular to what we've been speaking about, it's interesting to look at how celebrities, how well they like become, and then you just see them go back. Like Tory Lanez, for example, the beginning of quarantine, he was up there. Like everyone was watching his live, everyone was watching Quarantine Radio. That's all anyone was talking about. And what did he go and do?
Shoot up my girl Megan.
Shot Megan Thee Stallion in the foot. What I don't understand is why somebody like so famous would need to bring a gun to a party full of A-list celebrities. That's where I'm confused. Like, did he think that he was gonna like need it, like for protection? What was the reason?
Maybe it's the hood mentality. But to be fair, Americans just love their is it First Amendment, Second Amendment rights of just bringing a gun round because you could bring a gun round.
But what if he didn't have any like proof that he's able to have this gun? So he's putting himself at risk even then, because he could get stopped. Black men get stopped and searched all the time. He could just get stopped, searched, and that's it. Now this guy's facing 22 years in prison because he decided to bring a gun to a party.
He's a gnome. It's his gnome fault. Like, he's my height.
Maybe smaller.
Isn't he's he 5'3"?
Tiny. He's tiny.
He's like he's my height. He's just about this much taller than me.
It's
like
awful.
He has audacity because everyone. If I can beat you up, you have audacity to be doing it. Nah, he's a gnome. Let's talk about Kanye. Obviously, he was going on with like towards the earlier part of his career, he was calm with the black community, you know. He still had like that something about him. I don't know. You might say he had hood mentality still, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And then recently, when he's been going on his tirades and whatnot, and then he decided to support Donald Trump.
He's trying because he wants everyone to vote for him.
Yeah.
Not happening. Not
him and his fat egghead. I don't understand. Okay. Have you got any more celebrities to chat about?
No, I just mainly in the UK. There's only really rapid. Like, okay, so the whole Chip and Stormzy situation. It's like, I think it's more apparent in the UK that even though they like these artists are big and they're well known and getting money from their music, they still just can't get out of the hood mentality. Like, why is Stormzy pulling up to next man's house? What was your plan? What was you going to do? What if it had went left? The people don't, I don't think they, I don't know, like, what you say? He's worked so hard to get where he's got. Anything could have happened. Could have went left. Somebody could have got hurt, killed even. That's your whole career that you've worked for, gone. Why? Like, is it to impress? Is it just to show the hood or the, I don't know, your old friends that you're not like a sellout kind of thing?
Yeah, but isn't it just, you know, music battle? Why don't you just have a rap battle in the streets, you know?
Yeah. Okay. I just find it confusing.
Right. I found something really interesting. It's not necessarily like got like a psychological citation or whatever, but basically someone asked on Quora, this is in 2020, this guy, he's a software engineer, and he basically said, what are black people's view of the ghetto/hood stereotype and how you're treated when you don't follow it? And he was basically saying there's some good things about having a hood mentality, and then there's some bad things about it. And he's saying, like, obviously the good things are about it, like, it keeps you safe kind of thing. So, like, when you're at home, I don't know, you become suspicious of everyone. And so you try to, like, protect yourself kind of thing. But, so obviously he found, like, safety in that. But at the same time, like, when he's bad things about it is that it's not even just because he's got a hood mentality that these things are happening, but he's saying that, like, let me get to it. I don't know about. So he said he has many friends who grew up in like hood complexes and that are as successful as he is. And he's talking about majorities, he said. And black or white, the lack of access makes it hard for them to get out of the ghetto. But like over-policing leads a lot of them to have criminal records. So like regardless of...
When you say over-policing, what do you...
So, you know, like, I don't know if it's the government that be doing it or like just the police or the criminal justice system or whatever. But like in like the poorer area or the poorer parts, they tend to put a lot of police there in comparison to like, I don't know, middle class suburbs.
Yeah.
Because they just expect to find more crime there. Anyway, so he carries on, and people have answered that the problem is not the stereotype. So basically he, like the guy that asked the question, he was talking about how could like we overcome the stereotype and what are your views on it as a black person. Someone called Colin Spears, he said, I don't know who he is, but he said that the problem isn't the stereotype. As any race, there are lower class people in any race, but unlike most racial groups, the black people are judged by the lowest common denominator and assumed to be that stereotype until proven otherwise. And even when it's not obvious that you're that stereotype, others will try to make you that.
Let's talk about the stereotype then. The low common denominator. What would that stereotype be?
It's saying that why can't I talk today? The media is perpetuating the stereotype too. So like black people are often seen as violent gangbangers, and then if you're a male, but if you're a woman, you're seen as sassy, and you're like over-sexualized, males and females, but you're over-sexualized, and that you could fight at any point.
Yeah.
You're ready to take your earrings out.
That's the lower, because you won't really see the stereotype of the black like CEO or a black doctor. Yeah,
exactly. However, he said basically it's strange how like black people are judged based on the lowest common denominator, like this weird stereotype that's been around for ages. But like when you think of white people,
you think of the best.
Yeah. Like
you don't think of the nitties.
Exactly. Don't it just be?
We love our nitties, by the way.
They're funny.
Nothing against nitties, but yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's what he said.
So moving on from that topic, we wanted to also touch on women and why they go for bad boys, because it's still a thing.
I don't think it's a thing.
You don't think it's a thing?
No, but that I think it's because I've got no like relation, like people that I see, people that I know. I just It's not like, oh, I like bad boys kind of thing. I don't relate to it. I don't know very many people that do relate to it. So like the majority of girls I know, I don't assume that they would go for bad boys kind of thing. What about you? What are your thoughts?
I think that... See, I thought, before looking up this topic, I thought that it's just a phase that young girls go through when they're in school. You know, they all want to be with that one boy that's just seen as the bad boy, the one that's always getting in trouble, whatever. He's like the most popular kid. But it turns out that it's not. Like, people still go for that now in this day and age.
You think?
Yes. I did a survey on Instagram just to get a few thoughts on what everyone was thinking. And so I asked, like, if women would prefer a good man or a good man with bad boy attributes. And at first it was 50-50, but actually 53% said that they'd prefer a good, just a nice man over the good boy with bad boy attributes.
What would you say are bad boy attributes?
I don't know, like sells drugs, got gang affiliation, been to prison, just, yeah, things like that.
Oh, okay, calm.
And that's what, bearing in mind, the participants from the poll are of all ages. So I thought that it was like an immature thing, like a child thing, but clearly not. I also asked, is being attracted to bad boys still a thing? And 73% of the participants said yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Would you think that would mean like personally, or actually no? I guess they could interpret it anyway. But I guess like
I think some of them are probably personal, and then others maybe it's not that they would go for bad boys, but they know people that are still like going for bad boys.
I don't think so.
Is that because that's not what you're into though? Like you said, you didn't have any friends or that are into that. Well, into them, should I say?
Maybe. I don't know.
Do you think that it possibly has something to do with their like dads, their fathers, or the male role models that they had in their lives? If that's all like girls that have like older brothers that are in gangs and selling drugs and getting into trouble, do you think that now they want to go for somebody like that? Not even say that they want to, but that's all they know. They don't know any different. Maybe that's what comes to them.
That makes sense. Like having a male role model that is probably like really good, really nice, and like takes care of you. It's probably what they will grow up and then look for. Yeah.
Because you know, there's like them people, serial killers that get married like in prison.
Yeah, that's friggin' weird to me. I can't believe I said friggin'.
I'm gonna commit to this. Richard Ramirez, he killed and raped 13 women, got married in prison. Charles Watson helped murder 5 people, got married in prison.
Ted Bundy as well.
Ted Bundy for killing. He's swear he's like killed over 30 women.
Who, Ted Bundy?
Yeah, like meant to have. Even though he's not come out and officially said it, they've like linked him to so many. He got married in prison. There was actually an example in the UK in 2017, a Charles Bronson. He was an armed robber, but which isn't too serious. I mean, okay, him. But then apparently he's been in solitary for 40 years because he tries to fight all the guards and threatened to eat one of a fellow prisoner.
That's kind of funny.
And he got married in 2017 to an actress. She was in Coronation Street and Emmerdale.
Was this in like the newspapers or anything?
Yeah. She said that she wrote to him just because she found his book inspirational. And then she said like the friendship he replied back, and from then they started talking. Next thing you know, he was ordering her ring.
But you know, like
I can't get a text back.
Maybe you need to start belling people in prison.
I'd love a pen pal.
Yeah.
Definitely, yeah.
But do you think, I don't know, I don't necessarily think, I don't know, women that go for bad boys, but at the same time, like, the men, they're very cunning, they're very smart, especially when they go for, like, mad crimes like serial killing. They're smart.
Mm-hmm.
They know how to manipulate.
Yeah. Narcissistic.
Yeah, kind of thing.
Know how to work the way around. Yeah. Yeah. But what about now? Like, so that was obviously back at least like a few years. Obviously, Charles Bronson's the only like recent one.
Yeah.
But do you think that's like apparent now, like in 2020?
Yeah. Do you know how many like serial killer stan pages there be? Oh my god, it's weird. It's very weird. Like, if someone could do like something as horrible as like a mass shooting somewhere in America, and then there's a stan page like 20 minutes after about how much they love. That's weird.
I mean, if they're physically attractive,
they're not. They're ugly. All of them. Like, as soon as you see, like, I don't know, me personally, as soon as I see like they've done something like so horrible, stay away from me.
Because there's a saying, there's a definition for women that go for bad boys. It's called Hybristophilia. And it's a paraphilia in which sexual arousal, facilitation and attainment of orgasm are responsive to and contingent upon being with a partner known to have committed an outrage, cheating, lying, known infidelities or crimes such as rape or murder. I think quite a lot of people have that.
Quite a lot of people have that.
Not many people know about it, but I feel women that, yeah, it's definitely...
You think it's a thing?
Yeah.
Fair enough. Okay. Right. I found a psychology article by Vinita Mehta, and she found a study by Greg Louise Carter of Durham University. This was in 2013. And he basically, like, there were a group of women and they were shown two different men. So they were shown one man who was a control, he was just a normal guy. And there was another guy who had like characteristics from the dark triad. So that's like
let me see if I remember from my course. Machiavellism,
yes.
Psychopathy,
yes,
and narcissism.
Yes. Okay, I'll try and explain. Narcissism is basically, how do I explain it? It's a lot about being about yourself. You're all about yourself.
An example would be The Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah.
What's his face? Leonardo DiCaprio. He is a narcissist.
Yeah, you're very much all about yourself. You just care about yourself. Psychopathy is comprised of callousness, lack of empathy, antisocialness, like erratic behavior, that kind of stuff.
Jack the Ripper.
And then Machiavellianism, wow, that was awful. Machiavellianism is comprised of insincerity and extroversion. And it's also about being manipulative, coercive, and opportunistic ways. So like...
Ted Bundy.
Yeah, you kind of like prey on people. Like, there's an opportunity, so I'm going to go for it.
Or, what's his face from You?
Joe,
yes.
That guy is mad.
They're just some examples just so people can picture what these type of people would be like.
Oh my God. Anyways, they found that the guy who had the characteristics from the dark triad scored a lot higher than the normal guy. Basically, the women chose the guy with the dark triad.
Hybristophilia.
But they were saying that basically that they believe it's because... Oh my God. Sorry. They believe it's because it's a short-term thing. So like mating. So as I'm not sure how to explain it, but they believe like to reproduce, like for short-term mating, people go for like bad boys. But when it comes to like long-term partners, they're more likely to go for like good people. So like in that attractiveness, it was literally just how attractive they were.
Okay.
Obviously, they just picked the guy with the dark triad characteristics, and they're saying it's more of like an evolutionary thing, and it's more orientated to short-term relationships. Anyways, I also found there was a Harvard article, and it basically said, by Horgan, he basically said that nice guys don't always finish last necessarily.
Oh, see, that was a question in one of the polls.
What did it get?
Well, actually, it was winning. Well, it was winning. So I said, do you think the saying "nice guys finish last" is somewhat true in your experience?
Mm-hmm.
And 63% said no. However, 37% said yes.
What do you think?
In my own experience, yes.
In my experience, no.
I don't know what it is.
I don't know. I think there's a difference between being nice and then being really like moist. Like there's a fat. I don't know. People have their likes. They have their likes. But anyways, Horgan said that nice guys with bad guys don't really come up on top of nice guys realistically. They're about the same, but the people that are in front like are winning of the nice guys with bad attributes. So like they're not necessarily like bad, so they're good guys, but they have like, I don't know, something
dodgy, like just
something there. Like a little bit of aggressiveness, let's say.
Yeah. Or like, would you say that that's like an example of like a man, say like he does a 9 to 5, but he still probably sells the odd draw now and again? Would that be classed as a bad guy? Or a nice guy with bad boy attributes?
I have no idea. I guess. I'm not sure. I guess. The example that Horgan gave was James Bond.
Okay.
Why you say okay? It's just basically like someone that like they're nice.
They've just got something.
They just
Yeah. I get it. I really do. So in your experience, I mean, I don't know if you've already touched on this, but what would you choose? Like the good boy or good boy, nice boy, whatever, or the good man, nice man with bad boy attributes?
I don't know. I guess good with like, I don't know what bad attributes
I think
are.
that's the thing. I think bad attributes, it's individual to everybody.
Yeah.
Like my bad boy attributes are going to be different to somebody else's. I think it just depends on what you class as somebody being a bad boy. Somebody could be a bad boy because he doesn't open the car door for you. I mean, that wouldn't be one for me.
I don't know. I think good boy, personally. What about you?
We already know. I got Hybristophilia.